The first segment of the news is brought to you by KFC.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapinda with your JCN News. It's wonderful having you with us. A top cop is calling on pastors to help with the fight against crime. This after a man was found dead in his Cowpen Road home today with several wounds about the body. Our Kyle Joaquin has the story on this latest homicide that has police baffled.
It was in this very same wooden structure behind me that police found a deceased man with several wounds about his body. Now, at this particular moment, they're unable to say whether they were stab wounds or gunshot wounds. But one thing they can say for certain is that this was indeed another homicide. Neighbors say the victim's brother found him in his couch unresponsive, apparently the victim of an attack. The man who goes by the nickname Trigger had just celebrated his 30th birthday this past Sunday. Police Press Liaison Officer Superintendent Stephen Dean tells us more.
Shortly after 10 a.m. this morning, police received information that a man was found dead in a home located on Nains Gardens, that's off Cowpen Road. Police on arrival at the scene met the lifeless body of a male laying on a couch with multiple wounds to the upper portion of his body. We are unable to determine what type of wounds they are, whether they are stab wounds or gunshot wounds at the moment, but we are conducting some preliminary inquiries to determine, to ascertain what might have happened. We don't even have a motive for this incident. We are treating it as a homicide.
Residents say they never expected something like this to happen in their area. Judy Prosper says every day she visits her daughter who lives nearby. Ms. Prosper says for a quiet little community, news like this is shocking.
Yes, it's a safe area. I come here every day I come here, and none of this never happened. Never. There's a quiet, when you come here, quiet area. That's how you see it quiet like this, it's how it is. And you be able, all the neighbors looking over each other. Your people know to see if you hear something, because it's so quiet. You see?
So it must have been shocking for you to hear.
Shocking. It was shocking when we hear somebody die right there, get shot or get stabbed, whatever. It's serious.
Superintendent Dean says while it may not be the case in this one, people need to start intervening when they hear of disputes. He also urged pastors to play a greater role in the war against crime.
Like I say, all of this is contingent on working with the community, our leaders. We say, particularly to our faith-based organizers like our pastors, our religious leaders, that we need them. These are persons of influence. We need them to saturate these communities. And we believe that their presence, to get a pulse on the ground to find out exactly what is it that is happening, that will assist us tremendously.
Reporting for JCN News, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Meantime, investigations ongoing into a freak accident at a junkyard on Joe Farrington Road that's left a man dead. The victim, who's believed to be an employee of CRT Enterprises Limited, was reportedly crushed to death by a tractor. When our news team arrived on the scene yesterday, he'd already been taken to hospital where he died. Now, an eyewitness told us she heard a tractor running, but that it was nothing out of the norm. It's not until the equipment stopped running did she notice that an ambulance was on the scene. The junkyard owner was seen assisting crime scene investigators with their probe. However, he refused to comment or allow the media on the property. As indicated, police investigations continue. Police need your help finding an Okra Hill resident, and there's good reason why. Jeffrey Adians wanted for stealing. The suspects described as being dark-skinned and slim-built. Anyone with information on Adians' whereabouts is urged to call 919 or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. That's 328-8477. Authorities are meantime reporting success following the arrest of 3 men yesterday, ages 42, 25, and 22 years. The trio was locked up after police found them with an unlicensed firearm and a stolen vehicle. The men are expected to soon appear in court to be formally charged. A shot in the arm for the urban renewal program and the government's efforts to arrest the country's crime problems. This initiative launched today is putting members of the community on the front lines, and as Corval Pyfrom reports, the goal is to pinpoint trouble before it even happens.
The Urban Renewal Peace Ambassadors Initiative, launched Monday, serves as a recognition of the power of redemption and second chances, said Prime Minister Perry Christie. Mr. Christie wants dialogue between community and church leaders and those at-risk young men who continue to fall into a life of crime.
It's another significant plank in the urban renewal arsenal to combat society's ills, and I really want to congratulate urban renewal, because if the Bahamas is to remain the beautiful, tranquil, safe paradise for Bahamians and tourists to enjoy, then the goal is for peace to reign in our streets, peace to reign in our neighborhoods and in our nation. All residents of the Bahamas must be called to invoke the God of peace and for themselves to become peacemakers.
To those who've agreed to be ambassadors, the Prime Minister expressed his gratitude. He reminded them that all Bahamians have a role to play in fighting crime in the country.
Peace ambassadors are mediators and negotiators. Thus, those of you who have volunteered to be a part of this initiative must acquire mediation and negotiation skills. And whilst we add this Permanent Secretary, Algernon Mother Pratt, right, that we have access to mediation in really to empower the peace ambassadors by being able to expose them to the rudimentary training in conflict resolution issues.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister with responsibility for the program, Philip Davis, said this is a country of angry people, and further perpetuated, he says, by media. He told the ambassadors that the road ahead of them will be difficult, but he applauded them for taking up the mantle.
This type of behavior has not been made easier by the fact that we have a media and other forms of social communication which seem to take delight in flaming this fire of discontent. I can foreshadow that it will not be an easy task to be a peace ambassador. You are called to carry the message in rugged, unfriendly, crime-infested areas. You are called to go to places which will be unfamiliar territory to you, but you will have to adapt.
The ambassadors will work alongside police and governmental and non-governmental agencies to address the needs of residents in inner-city communities. They will also be required to report troubled areas and bring the concerns of residents to the relevant agencies. Corbell Pipe from JCN News.
Well, just days after the Bahamian man accused of attempting to murder a Canadian tourist back on Christmas 2010 were acquitted of the charges, the visitor has reportedly issued a warning to others seeking to vacation in the country. International reports note that New Brunswick resident Mitch Neely told Global News he wanted to remind anyone traveling to the Bahamas that this country is not safe. Anyone who goes there isn't immune to the crime there, he said. Whether you feel like you're safe on the resort, as soon as you step off the resort, you're in a war zone. But Patrick Keto Rose, Dino Price, and Adney Joseph were found not guilty of attempted murder and armed robbery. This after it was alleged that the man attempted to kill Nini by stabbing him several times to the back, chest, and abdomen early that Christmas morning and robbing Mintez and Brister of a gold chain valued at $1,000. Thinking back on the incident, the Canadian said, I didn't think twice. I was already out the vehicle trying to stop him. He had started to slow down when a vehicle pulled up and someone got out of the back seat and pulled out a knife. I had grabbed him by the shirt and I was struggling with him on the ground, but simultaneously he was stabbing me along my body. The online report said Nini's friends drove him to a hospital where he needed 6 liters of blood and several surgeries. While he could recall a gold Nissan Maxima, he could not remember the faces of the man who stabbed him. A jury reached a 6-3 not guilty verdict in the Supreme Court last Tuesday. As it stands, the Canadian government has not issued any advisories when traveling to the Bahamas, save to say that tourists have been the targets of robberies, begging the need to not carry large sums of cash or wear expensive jewelry. You're watching JCN News. There's more after this.
KFC Nassau's value deals have all your favorites, starting at $2.99. Try a one-piece chicken and biscuit, our spicy zing sandwich, or our 6-piece spicy bites. Try our famous bowl with bites, famous rice bowl with bites, 4 spicy or spicy barbecue wings, add a small fries and a 16-ounce drink. Or enjoy an 8-piece thigh and leg meal with your choice of 2 sides. Value has never tasted so good.
Pretty boy, pull over.
Hey, Miss Susie, what you saying?
Epic, I have tires for this bloody meal truck here. Any and all sizes. Don't know. Epic, over there. I have tires for this chutney. Does it look like you have them in your shoes for these?
Epic Fire Church. It's open 7 days a week. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday. And Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Look at that fancy contraption. Plop that big truck tire off and on quick, and it ain't all jam up. And you can turn around easy and plenty space.
Be quiet. Just smile for the camera.
The Bahamas welcomes over 6 million tourists every year. They spend over $2 billion, create about 97,000 jobs, and contribute almost half of our GDP. That gives us money for things we need, like roads, schools, and hospitals. Tourism is the goose that lays the golden eggs for the Bahamas. Tax policies should encourage tourism growth. To learn more about how a smart tax can grow and protect tourism, go to www.tab242.com. Sign the petition for a smart tax.
ESC Distributors Wholesale, the experienced beauty suppliers, has everything you need to look your best, feel good, and enhance your beauty. Soaps, creams, lotions, and oils in top name brands, including those sought-after bedazzled products. ESC Distributors has facial powders, matte and shimmer eyeshadows, and luscious lip glosses. And for your hair fancy, an exciting array of hair and hair products. ESC Distributors Wholesale, Nassau's premier beauty suppliers. Soldier Road, opposite NCA, 394-0819.
Welcome back. Grand Bahama firefighters assisting their colleagues over in Abaco who are on the ground investigating Sunday's early morning fire that swept through a shanty town over in Abaco, destroying dozens of homes in the process. Police say they got the call shortly before 1 a.m. Sunday that there was a fire in the Sandvine community. Now, while firefighters were able to contain the blaze within just 2 hours, some 50 homes had already been destroyed, displacing 150 people, more than 30 of them school-aged children. Luckily, no injuries or deaths have been reported. Well, in the wake of yesterday's Shantytown fire, Democratic National Alliance leader Brandon McCartney is again calling on the government to step up to the plate and deal with this vexing issue. In a release today, the DNA leader reminded that this is the third such fire to occur in just 12 months, and he's now asking, will this third time be the charm for the Christie administration to finally take action? The government's actions, or rather inaction, he says, in dealing with illegal shantytowns points to one of three conclusions. First, that this administration, like ones before it, is simply helpless or powerless to address the issue, that they simply don't care about the issue, or that their own vested interests in the existence of shanty communities outweigh their commitment to act in the public interest. Mr. McCartney, who once served as the State Minister for Immigration, says the DNA has long asserted that the country has sufficient laws to eliminate these illegal communities, but unfortunately, he adds, are not being enforced and are further negated by political interference. The government seems to be making some progress constructing new low-cost homes here in the capital. Meantime, Housing Minister Kenred Dorset announcing that 23 contracts have been awarded to Bahamian companies to complete the build-out of Strawn's Hill Estates on Fire Trail Road. The minister says 3 homes are nearing completion with new floor plans and exterior design. These homes, he says, have been outfitted with modern windows and will have solar-powered water heaters as well as photovoltaic systems. Mr. Dorset added that these homes have been built using modern building methods intended to lower the cost of construction without losing square footage or quality. The minister says the government will begin construction in Grand Bahama as well as move to construct new homes in the Fire Trail subdivision and Romer Street in Fox Hill. The pulsating sounds of goatskin drums, the click of cowbells, and the blare of horns rang out in the downtown Nassau this morning, marking the official launch of the Junkanoo Summer Festival that's really scheduled to take place in July. And according to Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Harrison Thompson, expect a new twist this time around.
But we're going back to the Junkanoo and we're bringing it on Bay Street. In the past it used to be at Awaki, but this year, as we celebrate our 50th anniversary as the Ministry of Tourism, we bring it back on Bay Street. And we're having competitions. We're having the dancers, they will be performing on one night. Then the second week, we have the music competition with the bellers and the drummers. And then the third week, we have everybody come together. And then the fourth week, we have a grand Tourism is Everybody Business Parade, where we have a float parade. And we invite all of our industry partners, the banks, the unions, the schools, whoever wish to come and be a part of that experience. We look forward to them.
Now, Mr. Thompson stressed the importance of Bahamians embracing their culture. He also pointed out that the government can no longer rely on sun, sand, and sea when it comes to marketing the Bahamas.
Tourism has changed throughout the world, and because of culture, the countries that have a great cultural presence, they are experiencing a growth in tourism. So we in the Bahamas, we want to ensure, because we're always the pace setters, particularly in this part of the world, and we want to ensure that we get our culture back on track, where we could promote our culture so the tourists come to see what we're all about, how we live, how we eat, what our music is all about, our food. So it's very important to us internationally and locally.
The John Canoe parades will be free of charge. Our final story is up next.
This is your smartphone on 4G. And this is your smartphone with the scorching fast data speeds of 4G LTE. LTE is 5 times faster than 4G, so you get the music you want, well, now. And buffering? Forget it. Stream your movie non-stop from the moment you press play. LTE offers a whole new mobile data experience that isn't just 5 times faster, but also 5 times smoother and 5 times better. Experience mobile data speeds in a way that will change your life forever with LTE. Live the experience. BTC every day.
Squires of the Square Table Lodge, number 201, modern, free, and accepted Masons of the world, fraternally and cordially invite you to attend a service of thanksgiving in honor of a distinguished Bahamian, Sovereign Illustrious Duke B. Smith, 33rd degree Patriarch, past Supreme Grand Master of modern, free, and accepted Masons of the world, the most decorated Bahamian in Masonic history. Saturday, the 31st of May, 2014 at 4 p.m. at St. Agnes Anglican Church, Blue Hill Road, followed by the testimonial and gala reception at 6:30 p.m. at the Ballroom Government House. Dress code, Masonic dress, fully regaled. Public dress code, black tie. Tickets can be purchased from the 17 Shop, 5th Terrace, Collins Avenue, on or before May 27th at a cost of only $60.
A troubled youth turns his life around. As a 12th grader of C.R. Walker Senior High School, Travis Robinson already has quite an impressive list of achievements under his belt. He's head boy, the outgoing junior minister of tourism, outgoing youth rangers commander, and a member of the Youth Against Violence program. On top of all that, this past Saturday, he was chosen Gentleman of the Year, beating out 49 other young men who participated in the 16-week program.
First and foremost, I want to give my utmost thanks and respect to my Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ, who's always the head of my life. I believe that this accomplishment tonight is nothing short of God's favor and His blessings for my life. I believe that the Gentleman Club is a positive youth organization, indeed distinguished not only in the Bahamas but around the world. And I would encourage other young men like myself to get involved in positive organizations like this so that we could show to the minority of those in the public society who believe that many of us as young persons are lost. And so joining organizations like this and the many others like even Youth Against Violence will help to put a bright light on the youths who are actually making positive strides inside, not just the Bahamas, but around the world.
Now, as Gentleman of the Year, Travis walked away with a $12,000 scholarship to the school of his choice. The young man plans to pursue a bachelor's degree in tourism management at the College of the Bahamas. From there, he hopes to head off to England to study maritime law. Club director Lamont Stubbs said the program aims to empower young men to positively change the country.
What we try to do is teach them to be productive members of society. Not only do we assist them with the academics, but we try to teach them how to budget, how to treat a young lady, just how to communicate, just how to survive in a society, and to be a man, and a real man, a real leader, a true potential husband and a good potential father. So we just try to encourage them to bring out their true self and to be able to contribute to society to the best of their ability. So what we have seen over the past several weeks is as they learn these new concepts, we see them put that into practice, and we see their maturity levels increase. We see the way they interact with the escorts have changed. Parents continue to tell us that we've seen such a wonderful change in our sons. So I mean, it's just incredible just to watch them transform into these young men that they are. And we try to encourage them to not only use the knowledge they learn, but impart it, to empower their younger brothers, empower their younger cousins. And that's how we're going to change this nation.
Mr. Stubbs added that the club has to date awarded over $6 million to young Bahamian males, scholarships from Morehouse University, Fisk University, Toastmasters, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, and the Archdeacon William Thompson Award were presented to various participants. That does it for this portion of our news. Stay with us for a check on sports and weather.
If you could see the inside of your engine running on Shell Helix Ultra, you'd see how active cleansing technology really works. Continuously cleaning and protecting your engine. Shell Helix Ultra with active cleansing technology. Performance you can see.
Hello Bahamas, I'm Dorino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening Sports. It's being brought to you by Facades Men's Fashion on Blue Hill Road South. The Bahamas under-16 water polo team to the Carifta Championships in Curacao finished second in the competition that featured more than 20 countries. Before the team left last week, they said they simply wanted to do well, finish in the top 5. But a second-place overall finish is remarkable for the team that has only been practicing for the last few years. The program looks to be promising. In the championship matchup, the Bahamas lost to Trinidad and Tobago 17-2. They were expected to return home sometime on Monday. With training camp well underway, the Bahamas' first ever female to play professional basketball in the WNBA, Waltia Roll, expected to get a first taste of action with the Minnesota Lynx this evening when they host the Australian national team in their first preseason game in Minnesota. She'll play again on Friday in Orlando when the Minnesota Lynx take on the Phoenix Mercury. The Bahamas Top 50 National Basketball Rankings continues by Bahamas Global Sports Foundation and CSA Basketball Academy. The 40th ranked player released at midnight last night was Nathan Bethel. He's in that 10th to 12th grade class. He's ranked 17th in his class, 40th overall. He's 17 years old, 6 feet 5 inches, right now attending St. Louis Christian in Missouri. And finally tonight, there's City Bowling League action for you. They're set for a 7 o'clock start at Mario's Bowling Palace. Some of the matchups include Carib Construction taking on the TK Falcons, City Leaguers and Tenbeck Strikers going at it tonight, Gigatech, Mario's Flaming Bowlers. Some of the matchups on that City Bowling League schedule. The Financial Bowling League will be in action on Tuesday night. And that'll do it for your JCN Evening Sports. Once again, sports is being brought to you by Facades Men's Fashion on Blue Hill Road South.
Bladder and bowel control is a problem for some seniors, small children, and even adults. But now with secure disposable underpads, you can protect your linens, beds, and furniture. Secure features a latex-free diamond-embossed quilt pattern and soft cloth-like top sheet with 5 layers of protection. Secure super-absorbent polymers quickly lock away wetness, and their extra-strength, moisture-proof backing gives them greater resistance to tearing. Better than the leading products on the market with competitive pricing. Secure underpads.
It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. It's not too late to build yours. Weather the storm with fidelity.
The FML group of companies, whose owner and the CEO is Craig Flowers, is making waves in many parts of this region as he has received government approval for the establishment of gaming platforms in the Turks and Caicos Islands, Bermuda, and now in Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
The team that we have here in Haiti has gone above and beyond my expectations. I'm very pleased with the way things have gone. It certainly taught me a great deal with this type of reception, and I'm going to take a lot from it as I go back home and give a lot of thought to it.
With FML Group of Companies, everyone wins.
The weather is brought to you by Be Dazzled, 100% tangle-free human hair, distributed by The Beauty Shack.
Good evening, and this is your JCN Evening Weather. First look at our surface chart. On the surface chart, a cold front went through yesterday. Now the southeast Bahamas, Miguani, Nagua, Crooked Island, and Acklands. That's going to become stationary and dissipate sometime during nighttime, early morning hours. High pressure now the dominant weather feature over the islands, and that's going to bring lots of sunshine, some warm temperatures and mild nighttime temperatures. Very little chance of rain over the next several days. Will increase that coming towards the end of the week. In your satellite loop, you can actually see clear skies over northwest Bahamas, still have some cloudy skies over the southeast Bahamas. It's still triggering up a couple of spotty showers, particularly going Miguana, Inagua, Crooked Island, and Acklands. In your marine forecast, those winds northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet. Your tides, you can expect a low tide at 7:13 this evening. Next high tide comes at 31 minutes past 1 tomorrow morning. Sunrise will be 6:31 in the morning, set evening at 7:43. UV index 8. The water temperature is 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Honeymoon phase, first quarter. Weather night, a few patchy clouds around the mild side. Low temperature going down to 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Tomorrow, a lovely day, sunny and warm. Not going to rule out a shower by late afternoon. High temperature 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And your Friday weather look, those temperatures remain on the hot side. Upper 80s at daytime, low to mid 70s at nighttime. Slight chance of a passing shower into Friday. That puts a wrap on your JCN Evening Weather. I'm Godfrey Burnside.
The weather is brought to you by Be Dazzled, 100% tangle-free human hair, distributed by The Beauty Shack.
And that does it for our news this evening. From all of us here at JCN News, thanks for watching.
Take that mess from off the wall. Give that baby back its ball. Leave other people things alone. There's other ways to get involved. Get involved, don't be no fool. Stay in school. Let your mind be